This is Jason with Pacific Northwest Adventures and Gear Review. I'm actually going to be able to get out today. I'm actually getting kicked out of the house. My mother-in-law just retired, and we helped her move over the past week into a new apartment. So she moved out of her house and sold it, and just really downsizing. So it's kind of been a lot of work for me and my wife, and I just haven't had a chance to get out, and she knows that I'm just kind of going stir crazy, not being able to get out and go hiking or do anything. So she kicked me out, me and the dog, today, and said, get out of here, go hiking and go take the entire day to kind of do whatever you want to do. So got the dog, got everything set up. So we're just going to go to our local area, which would be the Opal Creek Wilderness, and we're just going to go out and play in the woods for a while. And it's going to be kind of a military looking themed setup, just by, you can kind of see my hat and everything. You'll see the gear later. So anyways, that's what I got planned in the Subaru. Getting a late start, slept in. I think it's almost 10 o'clock, so I probably won't get out there until probably after 11. But I got the whole day, and with the daylight savings, we got a couple extra hours of sunlight. So, well, even though it's not sunny day, but it'll be light for, a little bit longer. So that's what I'm going to do. So we will talk to you when we get out on the trail. So I'm on 22 now, heading out to the Opal Creek Wilderness. The weather, it's kind of just high clouds, a little bit rainy, just kind of like light sprinkling right now, nothing bad, but it's probably gonna pour when I'm out there, but no big deal. I got all my rain gear with me, and I brought a Sil Nylon tarp and something to set up a little shelter so I can film once I get there and hang out with the dog and do the old lunch thing. So should be a good time. So got the dog in the back. He's a little bit pissed at me. I have to muzzle him. This is his first time with the muzzle on. He's a 10-month-old German Shorthair, and German Shorthairs are just crazy dogs. They're very excited a lot of the times, and they just are very smart and interested in everything and try to figure things out. And when I took him out last time, he chewed on one of this little tie-down piece on the back of the Subaru in the trunk area. So I don't want him damaging up my car. It was just a minor thing, but it just kind of let me know that I can't let him be in the back on his own. So he's muzzled. So if you hear some whining in the back, that's what it is. His name's Zeus. So little brown, short hair. Guy's solid muscle. My previous dog that I had to put down last summer, Chance, you'll probably see him in some of my videos. Super sweet dog. He was a rescue, and kind of a mix. German Shepherd, and I think possibly Lab. There might have been some Pit Bull mixed in there. I don't know. It was a lot, but he was a large dog, 90-pound dog, and just super, super cool. My first dog. We got him when he was, I think he was between 4 and 5 years old, and I estimate he's probably a little over 10 years old when he passed away. He got, it was unfortunate, it sucked, but he got something issues with his liver, I believe it was, and it was just, we had to put him down. He was starting to get into pain, but he was my hiking buddy for 5 years, and he was a pretty awesome dog. I miss him. Anyways, I'm going to be doing some periodic little filming on the way up there, just so you guys can kind of see some personal aspects of my life and chats and things like that. And those are kind of things that I like to see on YouTube channels. Not a lot of people do it. They're kind of straight to the point with whatever they're doing, but I kind of like the little personal aspect to it. It's kind of I guess ties into that community and getting to know who's doing the channel. So I really dig that. All right, well, I'm gonna keep driving for now, and then I'll come back in a little bit later. Alright, just left Staten area, heading towards Lyons, where once I get into Lyons, the turnoff's just right outside of Lyons to start going out to Opal Creek. So you can kind of see what the weather looks like and everything. Been listening to some classical rock on the way up here. Scorpions and all kinds of stuff like that. Unfortunately, I can't play that stuff while I'm recording video. Copyright stuff going on. Now that you can put stuff on the internet and potentially make money, there's no way you're going to be able to play stuff like that. So, which kind of sucks. I would like to have stuff like that in my videos, whatever music I wanted, but unfortunately you can't. I've actually been making videos way before YouTube. Started making videos even actually before I even met my wife, back in like 1998. Pinnacle Studio, and doing that on my home computer and just for home, personal use. It was way before YouTube or anything like that. In the infancies of the internet, back when dial-up and all that stuff was kind of the only way to get access. So yeah, that's kind of when I started all that stuff, and just doing videos of my hiking with a big old camera. And back then it was like a little cassette, kind of like a mini DV is what it was called. It was kind of like a mini like VHS disc. So, and then it was a big process. You'd have to record it and then download this big files onto your computer and then go through it. It's so much harder than it is now to make videos. So, but that kind of dates me a little bit. Yeah, been interested in computers and stuff since basically 1994 is kind of really when I started getting into computers and doing that whole thing. Got into building computers for a while, just for personal and fun. Kind of translates a little bit into my job. I work for a large communication company, so not going to disclose that. They probably, I don't know if they would want me disclosing that on a video, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna keep an eye on this road. Kind of I'm hands-free right now. I got this camera propped up in between my seat on my little stand here, so I can actually concentrate on driving. Anyways, starting to get darker, so I think the rain's gonna start. We'll see what happens. Alright, coming to the turnoff. Little North Sandy Am right here to go out to the Opal Creek Wilderness. See the two blinking signs, you take the left, and I'm coming from Salem, so I'd be going east. They've actually got it quite well marked out here. There's like lots of signs on the road now. There used to be nothing. You just kind of had to research and know where you're going, but now it's just like very well marked. Here comes a sign coming up here. North Sandy Am Park 2 miles. They have all these signs out here, and it's just so popular now. I've been coming out here for, God, 7 years at least. So it wasn't like that then, but now it's so well known, especially during the summer. You just got tons of people coming out here. And it's kind of a little bit unfortunate in a way, because it's just kind of gotten a little bit trashed. It gets a little trashed during the summer. At least the Three Pools area, which is kind of a very gorgeous little swimming area, but you get all these high school kids and college kids come up here, and most of them don't care about nature and the surroundings. They leave their trash and stuff everywhere and stuff like that. I've actually come up here and while hiking, and me and my daughter, and we'll go over there and we'll clean it up we'll just grab bags and stuff and take it with us, and we'll go clean it up in that area. And it's kind of stupid why, you know, people leave trash up there, because they've got full-on trash cans all over the parking lot where you can just take your stuff and you know, throw it away. But people don't do it. Anyways, that's my rant. All right. So yeah, it's definitely sprinkling now. So it looks like it's definitely going to be soggy, and the forecast kind of predicted that. It's just supposed to be sprinkling off and on, so kind of well aware of that. Anyways, I'm starting to get some kind of off to the right here, some river stuff. Okay, well, back to driving. Okay, I'm right out where the pavement ends for the road, and this is the entering Opal Creek Scenic area. So, I actually just realized that I did a big gear goof. I forgot my Midler at home, so no puffy, but I still do have my rain jacket. I do have a schmog and gloves, so I am going to be modifying my hike a little bit due to that. Don't want to get in a survival situation. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to not do so remote, getting out remote as much. I'm just going to stay on a trail that's more closer and not go as far on the trail, which is fine. It's raining anyways. I don't want to do a ton of miles anyways, so no big deal. It's kind of busy up here today. I just actually got passed by two vehicles, two 4x4s, with kayaks on them. So I guess this is a really good time to go kayaking. Lots of water. The river is definitely swollen up, so that's probably why they're hitting it. Pretty cool. Probably going to be jumping around. I'm on the dirt road now. The camera's probably going to bounce around a little bit. So it's kind of rough this time of year. It's not as well maintained. They usually just before summer, late spring, early summer, they come in and they gravel this whole thing over and get rid of all the potholes and stuff in the roads. So it can be pretty rough go to get up into this area early season, because of all the water and stuff, and it creates all these potholes and stuff and people going on it. And since Jawbone Flats is back here, which is a small little, you know, community, they are going on this road all the time to get access out to the world, more or less. They're kind of more or less, I believe they're off-grid up there. They rely on solar and hydro for all their power. Hydro off the Battle Axe Creek, and I think that's what does it, is their Battle Axe Creek is kind of where their little hydro thing is off of, and that's a year-round. They might have something off the Little North Santiam, I'm not sure though. Wanted to show you guys this. This is one of the few drive across bridges for your car. Every time I go across one of these, it's a little sketchy for me. There's like metal little things on it. I mean, I know it's totally safe, but it's a little sketchy out in the middle of the forest going over something like that. Show you guys this really quick. On the way to where I'm going, there's this kind of trippy, creepy, like pioneer house up here, and this is, I mean, I'm on a gravel road and I've been on it for a couple of miles. This is up in the sticks, so it's just been here. I think you can rent this out in the summer. I'm not sure, but it's really creepy looking. Okay, this is another one of those bridges I'm talking about. This one is right around right at the Shady Cove Campground area, and it's a one-lane bridge. Got to go over it to get to the other side. I'm crossing the Little North Santiam River right now. So it currently is kind of like a rain and snow mix. It's 37 degrees, so it's kind of reasonably cold out. So I'm going to do a little bit exploring up this road. There's a couple cool little things that I wanted to show you, just in case you came out here to the Shady Cove Campground and there were no sights. Because it's a very popular little campground. There's not a whole lot up here in the Opal Creek Wilderness. And I just passed through there. It's pouring down rain, almost snow. It's on the sets of winter and spring, and there were 4 sites being taken. You imagine what it's like in the summer, and there's only like 12 sites down there. So so I'm going to show you guys a few things that are probably not as well known. This is the Forest Service Road. I forget which number when you cross over the bridge by Shady Cove Campground. So when you pass over Shady Cove Campground over the bridge, there are some hidden sites over here on this side. If that gets full, then you just keep going down that road. There are some unmarked sites, and then there's some marked sites. And there's about 4 different marked sites. This one right here being one of them. And it's just right down the hill, right by the one of the feeder rivers that feeds into the North Santiam, and that is a site right there. Have stayed at that one before. It's a little bit small. I'm gonna drive up further and then I'll show you the one that I really like. It's kind of 3 different sites that are really close to each other, and if you came up here with a group and took over all of them, it would be a really cool place to stay. So this is the site, and as you can see how popular it is, it's in the middle of almost the middle of winter, early spring, and there's already someone up here. So you come down here, and it's right next to the river, and there's kind of like this little fence thing, and it combines into really 3 sites. There's someone down there right now camping, but yeah, and it goes on. It's very cool. I've stayed down here multiple times, set up a tent, and the kids can just kind of hang out right down by the river, right next to where your tent site is. It's a very, very cool option if you can't get into Shady Cove. Although this one is pretty popular too, so if Shady Cove's full, there's a good chance that this might be full too, because this is the next best option. Alright, so I'm headed past that site that I last showed you. I have encountered snow. I'm trying to get up here a little bit further, as long as it doesn't get too crazy up here. There's a gorgeous waterfall up here, and I wanted to show it to you guys. I will see if I can get there, if I can get there safely. I don't want to get stuck in snow, but it seems to be pretty clear. It's currently 36 degrees. Rain, snow mix still. A little bit more snow than rain now. Getting a little bit higher elevation. Okay, so if I can make it, I'll turn on the camera and show you that when I get there. Oh crap, it's Bigfoot walking across the road. Woo! Okay, so I made it. Not sure if you guys are gonna hear me. Since this waterfall is so loud, it actually starts way up there and it just flows down the side of the mountain. It's awesome this time of year. In the summer it's still here, but definitely not as much water. You also have a side flow right there as well, and then it all comes down into this pool right here, which in the summer you kind of come out here and kind of wait around, and then it drains through a culvert right there, and then that continues over to the other side into the creek, which is a feeder creek for the Little North Santiam River. So, pretty awesome. and it is completely snowing up here. No rain, dropped down to 34 degrees, so just enough to keep that snow coming. I'm gonna head back that way, back down to by Shady Cove, and then I'm gonna get on the trail and go in for a couple miles. Check out these big burls in this pine tree. Crazy, this thing's huge. Out there, North Standing Am right down there. Beautiful color, of course. Where's my dog? There he goes. Zeus. I keep him on a shot collar, that way I can call him back, because he goes everywhere. He'll like rip down the side of the mountain and then come back up. So I don't want to keep him leashed out here. I want him to have fun too. Hello.
Hi.
He's crazy. Sorry if he jumps on you.
It's okay. Hi.
Nice. Water is freaking amazing. Look at that green. Pretty sweet. Coming up on the first major water crossing. I want to see how Zeus is going to do on this time. This is the area we took him for his first hike, second time out. Last time he didn't want to go across that. He was just yelping. Finally got him to do it. We'll see what happens. Alright, doesn't look like there's going to be any problem this time. He just jumped right up there and ready to go. Oh, he's already gone. I better catch up. Amazing water. Green. Pretty awesome. It's not too bad out here right now. Kind of lightly raining and overcast, but it's not like cold by any means. Probably feels like it's about 40 degrees. I've already encountered probably 4 or 5 people on the trail, so this weather sure isn't stopping anyone. Usually it's not anyone, but I think there's people that are camping at Shady Cove. I think those are the day hikers that are coming through here. I don't think that many people drove up here. I didn't see many cars other than the day hikers. Loving all this mossy trees and mossy ground. Pretty amazing. You can see it. Awesome rainforest. I just love this area. It's only an hour away from my house, so if I ever get the itch and I need to get out, I'm only an hour away from a pretty amazing trail. Started fully raining now. It's light, it's not heavy. I'm at just a little beach area right before Three Pools. So you can see back there, I'll just do a 360. That area back over there, that's heading right down to Three Pools. Pretty gorgeous. There's the dog. down by Three Pools area. Kind of hidden behind there, that's kind of a little rock climbing. Water right there, going gushing down. Zeus. It's pretty well covered in water. It's pouring rain right now too. I don't want to take him too far on this because I don't know what his climbing skills are like, and I don't want him falling in the river. That would be a death. So I made it into camp. Gonna set up over here, set up a little shelter so I can get out of this weather. And wow, workout, out of shape. Anyways, I'm gonna set up my shelter and I'll kind of film a little bit as I go along on that, and then I'm gonna do lunch. I'm not sure what time it is. If I had to guess, I think it's probably about 1:30. Didn't get here till like noon on the trail. Alright, we'll talk to you in a bit. Alright, so here's my shelter set up. Got my backpack over there. It's a Snugpak Stamina. It's got a built-in rain cover, actually 2 rain covers. That's the camo. Big bag right there, that's my Sil Nylon tarp. And then I got a bag full of paracord and then some stakes. So gonna get this canopy all set up and then I will be back with you. Okay, got my tarp set up. Over here I'm gonna walk in, I'll just kind of show you my shelter. Set it up as good as I could. Did some improvising, got a wool blanket down there. And then all my gear kind of laid out. I'm gonna do something a little different this time. I'm doing alcohol stove. Barely got this thing put up. Come over here, just kind of trying to fit it into this area. I ran it up onto this dead tree and then around and down and then hooked up on some of the branches on the inside, and it worked. I fit it in there. It's kind of a hexagonal. This is actually for my hammock system, Hennessy hammock, so the upgraded tarp, but I love it because it's so versatile. I use it a lot even without the hammock. So alright, well, I'm going to try to make something to eat with my crazy dog. He keeps on wanting to run around and get into stuff, so I'm going to do the best I can. Let's take a look at this river. It's raging down here today. Yeah, you can see it down there. It's raging. That dog going down there. He's got to always be chewing on something. So alright, well, I'm going to get back to business. Hopefully he'll stay down there for a little while and leave me alone. Alright, well, I'm going to try to do some filming. Zeus has been bothering me like crazy. I fed him some tuna and then he finally left me alone. So I guess he was hungry. Just would not sit down. He's like completely wet, and I'm trying to put him under the wool blanket. He doesn't want to stay still, so just gonna let him do his thing. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I've got an Esbit alcohol stove here, and I'm going to use some alcohol to boil up some water. Gonna have some apple cider first. Let's see. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. Some Alpine apple cider, and I do have stuff here for a tea, a couple teas as well, and then all the stuff for my lunch, a banana, and a Thai ginger soup, and then a little chocolate fudge, kind of granola bar type thing. So I'm going to start getting this guy going. I got it full of alcohol right now, so get this thing going. There, it's up already. Alcohol stoves are kind of cool. I like them as well. They take a little bit more time though. So, but the advantage of them is they're not affected by the high altitudes like the other stoves, the canister stoves, unless you buy the one that you can turn it upside down. Alright. And I've got a ton of alcohol today, so I'm just probably gonna burn this to warm my hands too. got a whole giant container full. That's enough to burn probably 10 times, if not more. I keep all this stuff in my car, in the Subaru. I've got like an alcohol stove set up, and then I've got a solar charger battery thing where you can charge up your devices in there, and then a full-on 2 kits for like charging, flares, all kinds of stuff. If you got stuck somewhere, then you can kind of have stuff to hang out until you're rescued or you're able to get out. So, haven't showed that yet, but at some point I will. Okay. I also found this. It's every time I'm out, I always look around different camps. I found what is this? A Snow Peak titanium sport that someone left here. They have something like some stuff tied onto it. I don't know what they were using this for. Trying to get something out of a tree. I don't know. But I found all kinds of gear over the years, just sitting around camp that people leave. I always make sure that I double check everything before I walk away, make sure I don't leave any gear behind. I've only done it once. I left a pair of sunglasses, but it was kind of funny. I went back like 2 weeks later on that same trail, and they were still sitting there. I put them in a tree and totally forgot to grab them, but was able to retrieve them. Kind of funny. Alright, well, I'll take this guy back, get that cleaned up at home, and add another piece of gear to the collection. Alright, well, I'll get back to you as soon as I get this brew going. Watching the dog, he's off playing, thank goodness, he's leaving me alone so I can actually do a video. Alright, so I got my apple cider going, it's done. I'm actually starting to cook up my my soup, my Thai ginger soup, and then I'm going to put some hot sauce in there, some fire sauce from like Taco Bell as well to spice it up. So, got my Salem Vet Center cup here, this stainless steel. It's kind of insulated, it's double layer. So I got this for free from them. It goes along with the whole military looking theme with all my military gear. I did change out my hat though, my I call it my Recondo hat. It's just kind of one of these guys that flaps down, you can tie it up. It's a camouflage, kind of military style hat. So, reminds me of I was really into G.I. Joes when I was young, and one of the figures was named Recondo, and he wore one of those kind of hats. That's where the whole Recondo thing comes from. So it seems really dark in here. It's just because clouds and, you know, inside the trees, but it's only like about 1:45 in the afternoon, so it's not getting close to dark. I keep on watching the dog. He's like way over there. There's like a little kind of runoff creek, that feeder creek right down over there, and he's just kind of over there playing in it and drinking water and playing in the ferns. That's fine. Keep himself busy. So I got my wool blanket just kind of covered over me a little bit. Now that I'm not hiking and I'm kind of stripped down, I took off my rain jacket because it was pretty soaked. This is kind of where you start getting a little bit chilled. So I do have my schmog on. Since I left my puffy behind, normally this would be where I would throw my puffy on just to kind of keep me warm. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. Here comes trouble. Buddy. Yeah. I don't have any food. No food. No food. This is a hand warmer. Go play. See if I can get him to go get a stick. Go get. Zeus, go. Leave it, Zeus, leave it. Go play. play. See if I can find a pine cone. Pine cone. What's that? Go get it. Zeus, stick. Zeus. Get your stick. Get your stick. Try to keep him over there. I'm afraid he's going to knock over my tripod. That tripod that I got my camera set on, that thing is ancient. It's probably 20 years or more old. It's what I bought when I originally first started filming and doing video back in the days of the early video cameras before YouTube and all this stuff really became kind of popular. Alright, buddy. Well, I'm going to watch my soup and drink some more of my hot cider. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright. I'm cooking up some tea right now. Finished up my lunch. Spared you guys that. Not too interesting sitting there watching someone eat. So, getting that tea going. It is kind of just chilly out here when you're not moving around too much. So, and that was kind of my whole thing for today. I was just kind of like, do a little exploring, do some hiking, just a little bit of hiking, probably 5 miles round trip, 2.5 miles here, 2.5 miles back. Set up a camp and just have a lunch and chill out. Chill out with the dog. So that's kind of what I'm doing. He's having a good old time. He keeps coming back here every now and again, and then he takes off. He came back when he smelled my food, and now that the food's gone, he's kind of just not interested anymore. Gone. He's just out playing. So I did feed him really good before we came, but apparently that was not enough, and I didn't bring him any dog food, so I just kind of shared my food with him, and he was fine with that. So he's all good now. I did share some of my noodles with him too. They were spicy noodles, but he just ate them right up, so apparently he's hungry. He just took off up the trail, so I think there might be people up there. Alright, well, I better go get him. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, sit, dude. I'm trying to get him to hang out with me, but he does for a little bit, and then he kind of just is not interested. So he's totally soaking wet, but his skin is warm to the touch, but he's shivering a little bit. So he thinks this is food, and it's a hand warmer. So I don't. No, it's not food. It's not food. No, it's not food. Watch out! Watch out behind you. Come here, Zeus. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit, buddy. Sit. Sit. Come on. Cuddle. You want to cuddle? Come here. Oh, I know. I know. If you would calm down for a little bit, probably cover you up with the blanket. Okay. You're gonna be tired tonight. Yeah, you are. You're probably gonna sleep the whole way back. Alright, let's see if my tea's doing. Tea. Oh yes. It's a good thing. A whole pot full of tea. Nope. That'll burn ya. Nope. Nah, you figured it out. Felt the heat on his nose. I'm done with that. Done with that. Whoa. Easy. Easy now. Easy now. I sure would love to cover you up with this blanket, but you just won't have it. You just won't have it, will ya? Where are you going? He's like looking backwards. He's trying to figure out who I'm talking to. These dogs are smart. That's why he's looking behind him, because I'm talking in that direction. He thought I was talking to someone, and actually I'm talking to you guys, the camera. Come job, buddy. Yeah, good job. Good job. You're finally gonna sit. Oh yeah. You must be getting tired if you're sitting now. Goofball. Alright, well I'm going to turn off the camera for a while and going to chill out for a bit and drink up some tea, and then I might go down to the river in a little bit, and then I'll probably show that, and then we'll probably clean up after that and then get out of here, because it's going to take me probably about an hour to hike out, and then probably another hour to get home, so 2 hours. I want to try to get home by like 5:30 at the latest. Couple of barns out here, one right there, one right here, so I know someone's been out here. I didn't build those when me and my daughter was here about a month ago. It's a raging river. Something is moving. I don't even know if you can hear it. It's super loud. Dogs playing. Nice blue pool over there. You can see down the way there's some more water coming out right down there. Let's see if we can zoom in. Yep, coming into it. Lots of melting going on. Pretty awesome. Well, we're gonna pack up and head out. See all the awesome moss out here. Very, very cool. Alright, well, that's going to be pretty much it for the filming as far as out here at the camp. So I'm going to pack up and get back on the trail and start heading there, and I'll probably pull it out when we get back to the car, just so you know I got out safe. Got some kayakers down at Three Pools, a big old group of them. It looks like there's probably, I don't know, at least 20. They're all going through like the main little falls there. I can't see them too well, but it looked like they're having some fun. Good day for it. Lots of water. Yeah, check them out. They're all hitting it around here. Another one popping up right there. Alright, I found some guys that are setting up. Here we go. Kind of obscured a little bit, just a little bit farther up the trail. Got someone else setting up right here. Zeus, get away from there. Come on, baby. Here we come. I think it's a girl. Yeah! Took her picture. Nice. Alright. I made it back. There's Subaru Trailhead. Little North Sandy Am. And my dog is going down the water. Anyways, Had a good time. Spent about 4 hours out here. It's about 4 o'clock. So hope you guys all enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next one. Come on, Zeus. All right, bye. All right, so if you're still here, you're one of my hardcore subscribers. Actually watched through the entire video. So I'm going to be doing little segments on my way home from the hike. I guess you could just call it after the hike. Just kind of a little personal segment talk on the way home. Because I got like an hour to kill. So I might as well talk to you guys for a bit longer. So anyways, I think I'm going to talk about my Subaru. Just got this car about, I think it's been about 2 months now. I owned a 97 Nissan Pathfinder, and I bought that when my daughter was first born. Upgraded from just a Toyota pickup, two-seater. Since I was going to have a child, needed a bigger car, so I got the Pathfinder. Anyways, lots of cool adventures in that vehicle over the years. Served me well, but it just kind of got to the point where I just, it was a 20-year-old vehicle. Just kept on having to put more money into it, and it came to the point where I was going to have to basically dump another $2,000 into it, and I mean the car's not even worth that. So I just kind of made a judgment call at that point. Time to move on. So I traded that baby in. Got myself this Subaru Outback Legacy, which is a vehicle that I want for quite a long time. Anyways, so, and I really enjoy it. It's a pretty awesome car. I think one of my favorite things about this car, my Nissan had it as well, is heated seats. It's got the leather interior. This is the limited version, so it's got like everything in it, except for it doesn't have a V6. There's one model that's higher. Anyways, but yeah, the heated seats are awesome. I hardly even use the heater other than to clear the fog on the window. And that's just about it. So, got a couple of ideas, things that I want to do eventually. I want to get one of those rooftop tents. Tepui, I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation, but that's kind of the one that I've been looking for. They have one that will fit the Outback, and I believe it'll work on the standard racks. So those are averaging, I think, between $1,000 to like $1,500. Really want to get one of those at some point when I can afford it. Kind of more into like starting to do like the base camp thing, where you just kind of drive in, set up a base camp, quickly, and then it's kind of, you can hike from there if you want to stay overnight. That's cool. You can hike and go do like 5, 10, 15, 20 miles, come back to the base camp, and then just kind of do that up, and then you can be mobile and move around and drive to another area, and then just base camp and set up from there. Kind of a little bit of a variation of backpacking and hiking. So at some point I'll get that. I got a friend, him and his fiance, they own a Jeep Rubicon, and they just bought one from Smittyville. I've never heard of them, but he sent me some pictures and stuff on it, and it's pretty sweet. It's pretty much comparable to anything that I've looked at. So, and they're kind of into more of the base camping thing. They'll just go do like a base camp setup and then just kind of hike around. I used to go out with him quite a bit. We used to go car camping quite a bit, drive up into the middle of nowhere and just kind of undesignated and find a spot, set up just a bunch of gear and stuff like that. Haven't done that for quite some time with him, but hopefully we're gonna go do something this year at some point. Would be fun. I want to see that rooftop tent of theirs. Another guy that I follow, he's from Eastern Oregon, Primal Outdoors. He's got some really sweet gear setups. He does some really awesome photography and videos as well. And he's got the CVT system, the trailer. It's very awesome. It's super, super expensive. I mean, CVT is an awesome brand. I just can't afford it. It's just very, very expensive, but I'm sure it's worth every penny of it. So, another rooftop tent company, as well as they sell a trailer system that it all sets on the trailer, and then you can have like gear tucked into underneath the trailer, and you can pull it with your big truck, which is what he does. So, if you want to see some local stuff too, Eastern Oregon, he does a lot of stuff in Eastern Oregon. He's got some really, really high quality videos and high quality photography. Check him out, Jason, Primal Outdoors. So I saw a lot of kayakers today too, as you're going to see in the video, or have seen, since this is the drive home. So it was pretty cool watching them kayak down. I got some people following me. It's pretty busy out here today. I'm so surprised, because it's like the weather's not nice at all. I think it's just all the kayakers or something. I don't know what's up. You guys can't see this, but it's crazy. There's a golf course all the way out here. I pass it every time I come out here. It's just I hardly ever see anyone on. I can't see how they can even stay in business, but they do. It's been out here forever. It's a golf course out in the middle of nowhere. I guess there's an access road. I just passed it at Gates. You can cut over the hill over Gates Hill. There are a reasonable amount of houses back here. I think most of them are kind of like vacation homes, or stuff like that, or people that are just retired and live out here full time. I would love to have property out here, and I was kind of looking into it, but there's just not a lot of it. And out here, I mean, people have just owned the property forever, and I was trying to find something along the North Sandy Am, but it's just it's just a tiny little piece of nothing, and you can't do anything with it or put like water or sewer or anything, wells or anything on it. It's just kind of like, if these as a campsite, or there is like a $500,000 house and it's like a couple of acres, so, which I can't afford that. I just wanted to buy like a little chunk of property, maybe half an acre, and then build a house on it. So, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Kind of changed my motivation for that. We're going to just wait. I'm going to wait until my kids are out of the house, and then kind of just see what I want to do from that point. I've been tossing around doing the tiny house thing. Wife seems to be on board with it. Like after the kids leave the house, possibly sell our house and purchase outright a tiny home. The only thing is we would have to have some kind of property, either that, or we would have to like set it in a mobile home park and just like lease the lot or something like that. I'm not sure. So, but I'm kind of tossing around that a little bit. Either that or just building a small house somewhere. I don't want to stay in our house once the kids leave. I'm just not needed anymore. We don't need that size of a house anymore. It's not a huge house, but we just don't need anything that big. So I'll probably end up just liquidating it and moving. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, I'm kind of rambling now. So maybe you guys enjoy this. If you do, let me know. It's kind of just seeing a little bit of inside of my life and stuff that I'm thinking about. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good one.